to another video, or if this is your first video of mine, hey, how you doing? As you can tell from the title of this video and the thumbnail, today I'm doing another one of those incoherent book babbles about a book that I've recently finished, which is this beauty. Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan Maguire? Shannon. Righty-ho. I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, so there's an awful lot I am not gonna talk about. However, I adored this book in such an incredible capacity. I finished it literally like the other night and was like, oh my goodness. I went straight to see my mother and gave her the book and was like, stop everything that you are doing right now and read this masterpiece. Okay, calm down. I then immediately ordered the second books on Amazon. I've got them just here, haven't started them just yet, but I plan to this weekend. Oh, holy mother of life. This was incredible. Does that tell you how much I loved it? I adored this book. Right. Okay, so I think everyone is sort of familiar with what this book is about. This book is about Eleanor West's home for wayward children, where children who are returning from their fantasy adventures like fairyland and such go. So they come back from their fantasy adventures, obviously their parents and stuff don't understand, think they've gone a bit mental, and they go to Eleanor West's home for wayward children to sort of be rehabilitated into their normal lives after they've gone on these wild magical adventures. So that in itself is like such an intriguing plot to me, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. The characters are all amazing. This one follows mainly Nancy and her coming back from her journey. As I said though, I really don't want anyone to know too much about this when they go into it. I would really suggest not knowing any more than that, but just knowing how much I loved it. For such a short book, it always amazes me how small this is. I thought that I would be left feeling a bit empty and disappointed at the lack of development or anything, but oh my goodness, I couldn't be more wrong. For such a short book, how many pages is this? Like 160 or something, I believe? 170. For a 170 page book, how much I fell in love with the characters, the main character of Nancy, the side characters, how much I fell in love with all of those is quite unbelievable, considering from 170 pages you couldn't possibly have that much development, right? Wrong. I loved it all. The atmosphere of this book was everything I could ever possibly dream about. It was incredible. It was such an atmospheric read. I was in there, I was stuck, I was hooked, like I want to read it again and again and again and again. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think alongside the atmosphere, the writing style has quite a lot to do with that. Like, it's so whimsical and poetic and lyrical, and I loved it. I loved it so much. So much. Yeah, the writing was just gorgeous. It was, as I said, it was a masterpiece. For something so tiny, it had such an impact on me, and I loved it. I loved it through and through. I think I've probably kind of, in my initial reaction to this book, probably summed up how I feel about pretty much most things. But like the intrigue and how hooked I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. I mean, it's tiny so you can read it in one sitting anyway, but like hooked. I didn't want to put it down. I did not want to put it down at all. And I struggled when I had to put it down. I mean, I have a job and stuff, so I had to put it down when I was at work, but it was just there, like, calling me, and I wanted to get back into it because I needed to know how things panned out and what happened, and oh, I have so many feelings about this book, and I really suggest that if you haven't read this, you read it. I've very recently become very strict with my 5-star ratings. I rate purely on enjoyment, so for a 5-star book for me, I need to have enjoyed it thoroughly. So far this year, from the like 20 books I've read, I've given 2 5-star ratings. This was one of them. And that wasn't because I've read bad books. I haven't read, well, I've read some bad books, but it wasn't because I've read 20 terrible books. It's just because this just blows them out of the water. It left such an impact and made my heart feel so many things, and I just want everyone else to feel those things as well. So yeah, I won't babble for too much longer. This is going to be a very small babble because, as I said at the beginning, which was what, like 2 minutes ago, I feel like going into this, like everything I could possibly tell you would be a spoiler, and I think going in blind to this is the best thing you could do. So I encourage, if you don't know a lot about it, that's the best way to be, and I would encourage you to read it. Absolutely. I suppose one downside to it, the size, I wanted more of it, hence why I got the next ones immediately. But also the ending was quite abrupt, but I definitely feel that that was done for dramatic effect. Definitely think that's why it was done. I just wish I knew more, but I think the next one is going to give me some more of what I wish that I knew. So yeah, that is quite possibly the only flaw I have. The ending was quite abrupt, but that didn't detract from anything for me because I still thoroughly enjoyed it and have all the feelings. All of the feelings. So yeah, if you haven't read it, read it. I really recommend it. Please read it. Please. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Sorry that this has probably been, again, one of the most incoherent things I've ever put together on my channel, but as you can probably tell from how much I've blabbed, I have strong emotions about this book. So yeah, if you've read this book, please talk to me about it, because I just could gush and gush. I want to read the next ones like immediately. I plan to read them both this weekend. I need to just absorb it all into my life. But yeah, I'm gonna stop now. So yeah, please chat to me down in the comments about this book, or if you plan on reading this book, or pretty much anything, just talk to me. If you fancy giving me a thumbs up, I always appreciate that. And if you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I am always eternally grateful. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday and some odd days in between if I'm feeling generous, and I will see you next time. Bye!